What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Overwatch video. Today we're going to take a look at the awesome and incredible Zenyatta. It's going to be sweet.
Of the game.
So that's right, Zenyatta the Omnic Monk is going to be our focus of this little bit of a review, and kind of talking about how awesome Zenyatta is right now after the last buff, which ended up seeing his hit points raise from 150 to 200. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty incredible. So first off, we're going to quickly walk through all of the different abilities that Zenyatta has. You can see that he is a 3-star character, meaning that he's supposed to be pretty difficult. As far as his firing goes, he fires off these energy orbs, and you can fire off 3 orbs per second. They deal 40 damage per hit. You can also use his alternate fire to charge them up and fire off the orbs all at once. 5 orbs all at once for 200 burst damage. Now I'll be honest with you, his secondary fire is pretty much useless. I really never use that. There are certain situations, I suppose, where you might want to charge this up and then go off and fire it at an enemy. Like say if a Mei's in her little ice cocoon and you want to go ahead and charge and release it all at once whenever she comes out of the cocoon. But if you're just in the middle of battle and fighting enemies, you're better served to just fire off one at a time, because you're actually going to deal off more damage, because that charge time is pretty significant. Just something to keep in mind. Also, these things are projectiles, so you kind of have to lead your target if they're moving around. If they're not within the same range and they're moving side to side, you're probably going to have to lead them a little bit, which is pretty difficult, especially since Overwatch recently changed the way that projectile weapons are hitting. They have a smaller hitbox, though if an enemy does get in too close, give them a steel foot to the face. That'll finish them off for sure. Now moving on to Zenyatta's abilities, we have the Orb of Discord and the Orb of Harmony. The Orb of Discord allows the enemy to take 50% extra damage. Absolutely massive. And the Orb of Harmony heals your teammate for 30 hit points every second. Now if you don't have line of sight for either the enemy or your teammate, these things are going to go away after 3 seconds. And that's definitely a significant nerf from what it used to be. But it's really not all that bad. It's not the worst thing in the world, and it helps to balance this stuff out. Even if you stick a teammate with an Orb of Harmony, and then they run away immediately, they're still going to get 90 hit points just from you sticking them, which might be roughly half the health of most heroes, so really not all that bad. And that Orb of Discord lets you deal out so much damage, but it's not just you. That damage buff is there for all of your teammates as well. It is extremely potent, and it makes you an absolute monster, an absolute killing machine. I'll be honest, the one enemy that I faced that probably absolutely despises Zenyatta and this Orb of Discord has gotta be D.Va. D.Va is massive and has a massive critical hit spot right in the middle of her. So you go ahead and throw that Orb of Discord on, and then you start firing off these orbs of destruction. She cannot handle it, despite all the HP that D.Va has and the armor. She can't handle Zenyatta. Zenyatta just absolutely melts through her. It's really, really nice. So you're going to get really comfortable in throwing out these Orbs of Discord and Orbs of Harmony. They received a nice buff in the last patch, where they fire off significantly faster and reach their target significantly faster. Whenever you're seeing those tutorial screens, those are from the old and original patch that ended up coming with Overwatch. You can see that the orbs end up firing off real slow, but in the game action you see here, it's almost instantaneous whenever I fire off an Orb of Discord and the enemy gets targeted. Another bonus that you can kind of see is that whenever somebody is tagged with an Orb of Discord, they still show up on your map, so it's kind of like a little mini radar. So you can pretty much track them down through walls, at least for the 3 seconds that they might be out of your sight. You can easily track down a target and go after them if you would like to. Why not? You're a monk. You're an Omnic Monk that is surprisingly potent and surprisingly deadly. Don't let anybody sleep on Zenyatta. He's got some kick to him. Despite a potent offense, Zenyatta's ultimate Transcendence is all about healing. You deal out 300 hit points per second to your teammates while you're invincible the entire time. For an entire 6 seconds, your team is pretty much impervious to normal gunfire. they have really no chance of getting damaged, so your team is absolutely able to push at that time, which makes this a real game changer and game winner. And take a look at the stuff you can block and stop right here. That's 2 enemies that were charged up by Ana, and they couldn't even break through. They didn't even lose a single hit point that entire time. Absolutely ridiculous. That ultimate is extremely potent. You need to capture a point, you need to rush in somewhere. If Zenyatta's got his ultimate, be ready and push. The one thing that I noticed with randoms, whenever you're playing with randoms, is that they don't push. Even whenever they see Zenyatta going off, they're still sitting back and trying to stay safe. That is definitely a no-no. Look at this, I pretty much shut down Reinhardt's ultimate. He did absolutely nothing despite those hammer swings and firing off the ultimate. This thing is going to save lives, it's going to save your life and your teammates' life. Well, what do I mean that it's going to save your life? Well, in here we're going to see I'm in and firing off some bullets, trying to make our way through. We're trying to push the payload, getting through here. Things are getting a little chaotic. There's a Junkrat tire and there's a Diva. Boom, I popped my ultimate. All I did was get pushed forward, and I'm able to sit here and pretty much be a barrier if any of my teammates wanted to come and push forward. I was completely safe from Diva's ultimate bomb. She ended up killing no one after using her ultimate ability. So even though I didn't save a ton of teammates there, what I did was I made the enemy team waste their super, and none of us died, and we were able to continue on our push. I really like Zenyatta's ultimate. Again, since so much in Overwatch right now is about capturing points and sticking to an objective, something that's going to let you just stay there and be absolutely invincible really can't be overlooked. You really can't put a value on how important that is to your teammates, because it's not like I'm only healing one teammate. I'm healing anybody within 10 meters at 300 hit points per second for 6 seconds. That's good enough to win. That is easily good enough to win. So if you're just needing that last absolute little tiny bit to push to get the objective, have your Zenyatta there and just go to town. Right here, we're on our point. We only need less than half to go. I'm sitting up here with my Diva, who I really like to use to throw that Orb of Harmony on, because Diva has a lot of staying power now, and Diva does not have any self-healing abilities. So with Diva's massive HP pool, its huge armor pool, and its staying capabilities, throwing an Orb of Harmony on Diva just seems to make a lot of sense. So I was able to use that Transcendence, hold the point with Diva until the rest of our team came in, and then boom, we're able to claim the victory while holding off the opposing team. They just could not push. Transcendence is going to save lives, and it's going to win you matches. And with its buff, where you now move at twice the speed that you usually move around at, that is pretty significant. Overall, Zenyatta is really slow to move around the map. There are no quick get-out-of-jail-free movement spaces with Zenyatta. You have to just move around the map, forward, backwards, jumping as you can. You can see right here that Reaper was trying to get in, and the only thing I could do was just back up. But since I have my Orb of Discord and my strong Orbs of Destruction, Reaper thought the better of coming after me and went into raid form and ran away. I scared off the Reaper. Zenyatta, potent and a really good team player. So Zenyatta's Orb of Harmony doesn't heal as much as Mercy, and it doesn't heal as many people as Lucio, and that's before pumping up the volume. But it's still pretty good for just a standard ability, and that Transcendence is easily on par with pumping up all the volume and the self-res. In fact, it might even be a little bit better, but that might be for people who are way better at Overwatch than I am to debate. I'm just saying I'm a huge fan of it. I really enjoy it. So let's talk about why I dig Zenyatta, why he's absolutely amazing after the buff. First off, he's got a ton of staying power. And that might not make sense with a hero that has 200 hit points, but like I said, he got 50 more hit points, and they came in the form of shields and not health. Health doesn't recharge in Overwatch, shields do. So being that Zenyatta ended up getting 50 extra hit points in the form of shields, I can take 50 hit points more of damage and then just run around the corner and automatically heal without having to look for health packs or relying on a teammate. And that is really nice. What this lets me do is take care of turrets even a little bit easier, because I'm not afraid of popping out, firing off a few shots, and then getting around the corner, because I know that my health is going to come back. So that extra survivability confidence can really help boost you up in the game, not to mention you have that potent offense to always rely on. but let's talk about some enemies that we might want to avoid. Number 1 on the list is Widowmaker. The health boost ended up helping you out there significantly, but you're still really not going to want to go toe-to-toe with Widowmaker. Widowmaker stays far back in the map, can get a bead on you and shoot at you while you're trying to fire off your projectile weapon, and if Widowmaker moves around, she can be just really tough to deal with. I would say avoid her at all costs. Let somebody that has better movement than you do deal with Widowmaker. And speaking of movement, small characters that move around the battlefield really fast are going to be tricky. Does anybody come to mind for that? That's right, Tracer. Tracer is definitely difficult to deal with, again, mainly because you move slow and fire off a projectile weapon. If you had a hit scan weapon, it might be a different story, but you don't. So Tracer and somebody like Genji could be people that you want to avoid. Now obviously, if you stick them with an Orb of Discord, you're going to melt them if you're just in the zone and you're hitting all of your shots, but I wouldn't rely on that. I wouldn't say that that's going to be the norm, even though it definitely can happen. As far as enemies that you're definitely going to have an advantage over, I already mentioned D.Va. That massive critical hit spot in the middle, throwing an Orb of Discord on, firing off at that critical hit spot, you're just going to melt through the mech. Even whenever she pops out, yes, she is small and can move around a little bit quicker, but she doesn't have as much damage potential, so you shouldn't have any problem in dealing with her there. Some of the other big characters like Roadhog, they've got nothing on you. Stay out of grasp of Roadhog's hook. Sure, he could maybe hook you out of Transcendence. You'll still be in Transcendence though, you just won't be in the exact same place where you were starting. So you can definitely take care of and defeat Roadhog. Same with Winston, though Winston can jump away, which could be difficult, but overall you can stick that orb on him and help to deal with him in his normal form or that crazy angry monkey form. And finally, Reinhardt. Sticking Reinhardt with the Orb of Discord is going to let your teammates help to melt through him. The one thing you have to wait for is for him to drop his shield. Your Orb of Discord will not go through Reinhardt's shield if it's up, so I like to sit in the back, wait till he drops it, and then go ahead and fire it off, so that me and my teammates can all deal out that extra 50% damage to Reinhardt. Get him down, and you're just going to help melt through one of the tanks that are causing you a problem in the game. So you should always be sitting back and trying to fire off your Orb of Discord at somebody. Even if there's only one little person out there, fire it off, why not? Getting the enemy down quicker is going to help out your teammates even more. And then whenever you're able to, look around the battlefield for anybody that might need help and throw them an Orb of Harmony just to help them out, so that they don't have to leave the battle and go find some health packs. You can help them out, and whenever you need to, use your ultimate Transcendence. Trust me, your teammates are absolutely going to love you. Now what I like about Zenyatta's buff is I was kind of always wondering what character I wanted to use on attack. On defense, I feel like I have a lot of options. On attack, I really like Soldier. But for some reason, I have a horrific win-loss record with Soldier. And what I decide is that Zenyatta is very useful on defense, is very useful on attack. It's just one of those characters that I can always pick no matter what. So because of that, I would say he's just a really well-rounded hero. He does everything that you need. He heals, he does damage, he kills enemies, he kind of bobs, he kind of weaves, he's a mosquito, he's striking like a bee, he's floating like a butterfly. He's Zenyatta, and he's not that bad. You should give him a shot. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your Zenyatta, and I'll see you around in Overwatch. Crazy Robot Monk.